Hey there, it's Monday, it's weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. Hope you had a good weekend. Our weekend weather was certainly on the warm side, and that trend continued today. We did 86 degrees this afternoon, just one shy of the record set back in that very warm October of 2007. It was 87 on today's date. So a very, very toasty day today. On the 8th day of October, I always kind of pause to remember, hey, this is my work anniversary here at WFMJ. I posted about this on Facebook and Twitter this morning. Thanks to everyone who had some really nice things to say in response to that post this morning. Hard to believe I've been here for 6 years now, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and really have enjoyed getting to know a lot of the weather enthusiasts, weather geeks in the vicinity here in Northeast Ohio and Western PA. And thanks as always for checking out this video, which I know tends to run a little bit long sometimes, gets a little bit geeky and nerdy, but a lot of people really like this kind of content. So I intend to produce these Weather Geek videos every day for forever. Well, maybe not forever. For the foreseeable future anyway. When we look at 2018, these are the daily temperature departures from average each and every day through today's date. A few things stand out here, of course. Well, today, on the 8th, when you combine the high and low temperature for today, it was something like 24 degrees warmer than average today, and that's our biggest temperature departure for a date since February, when we had one day that was over 30 degrees warmer than average, if you remember that warm spell towards the end of February. But today was our biggest departure since then, and just look how rare cooler than average days have been over the last 4.5 months, really, since the beginning of May, June, July, August, September, 5.5 months, really, and into roughly the first half of October. The blue bars here, there's just very, very few of them. It's been a remarkably warm pattern since the pattern really flipped after that cool start to spring. The pattern flipped in May, and we haven't looked back since. Not only was the warm air a story today, of course, the dew points were elevated. So around mid-afternoon today, the heat index peaked at 91. We don't talk about heat index very often at this time of the year, but I haven't had a chance to retire this graphic just yet, and I'll probably show it again tomorrow because we have a very similar day coming up on Tuesday as our dots kind of fill in here. As you can see, we were not alone with the warmer than average temperatures today. You have to head to the upper Midwest and in parts of New England to find cooler than average temperatures today. And some of the kind of brighter oranges here in the entire U.S., really, the biggest departures from average today for high temperatures in the U.S. were right around our region, from Ohio and Western PA back through Michigan, Indiana, and into Illinois as well. So yeah, just remarkable out there today. And this is all kind of setting up like a ring of fire almost. You've got a high pressure ridge here. Of course, the flow in the northern hemisphere around high pressure is clockwise. So on the outer periphery of that high, you have this kind of ring of fire setting up with rain and thunderstorms from the Gulf of Mexico back through Texas and up into the Plains states, and then wrapping back around into parts of Canada. We even had a couple of stray thunderstorms closer to I-71 in Ohio. This evening, if you follow me on Twitter, check out the sunset picture I posted from Boardman, which is looking west, and you can actually see the tops of those thunderstorms out towards Mansfield on our sunset shot from Boardman this evening. All right, here's our front out here across the Plains states. It is not hard to find. Once again, now this cooler air has been building and building, and finally it's going to release east in a couple of days. It's going to take until then, though, before we see a big change. I think tomorrow is just about as warm as today, and then I think Wednesday will be very similar as well. Quick detour to the tropics. We haven't talked about the tropics much over the last few weeks, really since Florence ravaged parts of the southeast. This is a different deal. This is Michael, and this is going to have a big impact on parts of Florida eventually. Right now, still a Category 1, but this thing is strengthening. It's in a very favorable environment for further intensification. And I'm expecting Michael to make landfall as a major Category 3 hurricane somewhere in the panhandle of Florida, probably Wednesday morning. This will cause a big storm surge problem in this part of the state. The coast kind of caves in like this, and that makes it very susceptible to storm surge when you have a track of a hurricane like this. So this will be a big deal in northwestern Florida. This is not Florence, though. This thing will be moving. So this isn't going to be one of those things that's just going to park over one location for a while. This thing, while it will be a strong hurricane upon landfall, will keep moving, will bring a glancing blow of wind and rain to parts of Georgia and the Carolinas, but then out to sea, and I don't think it'll have really any impact on our weather around here. And here's a look at the latest spaghetti plot. We call this the spaghetti plot because it kind of looks like a plate of spaghetti. These are all the tropical models all in one plot. As you can see, there's a million of them, it seems like, but there's pretty good agreement here. There's not a huge model spread. So the track is fairly certain here, somewhere in the western panhandle of Florida, and then the remnant low will track through the Carolinas and then out to sea. Again, no impact on our local weather here. Big picture here locally for Tuesday. 11 hours, 23 minutes of daylight. Look at that sunrise. Sunrise is almost at 7:30 now, and the sunset is at 10 minutes till 7. The days are getting shorter at a very rapid pace here in October. I mentioned this earlier on Twitter. What was remarkable about, one of the things that was remarkable about today's 86 is that at this time of the year in early October, of course, the sun is getting weaker, lower in the sky. The sun angle right now is about the same as like the first week of March. And the record highs in early March are in the 70s. The record highs this time of the year tend to be in the upper 80s, but still the sun is as strong now as it is in early March. It's hard to get an 86-degree day with that weak of a sun angle, or low of a sun angle and weak sun, but we did it today, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Mid-80s again tomorrow, lots of sunshine, and I think Wednesday is looking pretty good as well. We'll be dry with some sunshine throughout the daylight hours. Now, the clouds will increase towards sunset Wednesday evening, and then some showers will push in at night, maybe a rumble of thunder, and Thursday probably starts damp, but the big story on Thursday is going to be this front's going to roll through and temperatures will start nosediving. It's going to be a backwards day Thursday where the highest temperature is in the wee hours of the morning. The afternoon temperatures will be tumbling. Not real concerned about heavy rain here with our front or with the tropical moisture. Again, I think Michael is a miss to the east. So over the next week, rainfall totals may add up to 3/4 of an inch or so, maybe an inch, but that should about do it. Not expecting a real rainy period here. What I am expecting is a cooler period in the medium range here as we head into the latter half of the work week and especially into the weekend. I've got 52 in the forecast for Friday. That's the high. So it's going to be a very chilly evening for high school football Friday evening, and high temperatures over the weekend will stay in the 50s. So we'll probably string together several cooler than average days in a row. When's the last time we said that? We haven't said it very often since April, and we might be in for 4 or 5, maybe 6 days in a row of cooler than average temperatures. Now, cold enough for a frost and freeze, I doubt it. Maybe in western Ohio this weekend, but I think in eastern Ohio we have a little bit too much of a breeze, maybe too much in the way of cloudiness at times to have any frost or freeze concerns around here just yet. A cool pattern, yes, but I don't think in the immediate short and medium term here it's the kind of pattern that's going to produce cold enough nights for our first frost or freeze of the season just yet. It'll happen eventually, but I doubt it happens late this week or over the weekend. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you back here Tuesday evening. Have a great Monday night, everyone.